Well, hello, Locked In fans. It's me, Rick Beetle Bailey, and today is a special treat for me as it brings me back to the best era in my lifetime, the 80s. The 1980s saw the emergence of electronic dance music and indie pop as disco and new wave fell out of fashion in the decade's early years. Genres such as post-disco, Italian disco, Eurodisco, and disco and new wave fell out of fashion in the decade's early years. And dance pop became more popular. Rock music continued to enjoy a wide audience. Soft rock, glam metal, thrash metal, shred guitar characterized by heavy distortion, pinch harmonics, and whammy bar abuse became very popular. In the middle 80s, glam metal became the latest or the largest, most commercially successful brand of music worldwide. As hits with like Only Get Better, No One Is to Blame, What Is Love, Who You Really Want to Be, and duets with Nick Kershaw, Daryl Hall, and others bring back the memories. His World Tour 2020 kicked off a few weeks ago with ABC. Today's guest is no other than Mr. Howard Jones. Welcome to the show, and how are you doing, Howard?
Yeah, hi, Rick. Yeah, I'm doing well, thank you. Yeah, just got a bit of a afternoon off here in Oklahoma City, whilst we're making our way to Omaha.
Yeah, that's. I was hoping to get to talk to you last week, but we had to cancel because you were heading into Texas, which is a pretty big country music era or area. How did your concerts go there? I mean, considering the fans that you have and how they reacted to your music there.
Oh yeah, I have a huge following in Texas, and we had some of the best shows ever. You know, we did four altogether, and it was absolutely amazing every night. Really good.
Well, how does the energy and style of the opening act there? I know you're wanted to. I guess we should mention that ABC is with you on tour. How
Yeah.
did that affect the show with you going on afterwards?
Well, it's. I mean, we teamed up to do this to the this show, and it's so wonderful to have Martin Fry at ABC, because it's such classy music and great songs. Martin's really singing brilliantly, and yeah, I mean, it just makes the whole evening really special. So yeah, absolutely fantastic.
So you're heading to the, I guess you could say the Midwest now. Um, is it going to change at all the music sets or anything like that going into a different area?
No, 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 no. Obviously, change. I don't change my set according to where I am.
Right.
This because this is what we prepared and this is what we're doing. So all what I do work on is just tweaking the set that we have. So we do sound check every day, and we always work on improving little areas in some of the songs, to make it so by the time we get to the end of the tour, the stuff is really bedded in and you've made progress with everything. So I always see that, those sound checks are so important to keep refining the work. Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of intrigued. I mean, I always have been about set lists because everybody kind of wants to know, what songs are they playing here? What songs are they playing there? I think I saw one of your interviews something that you take a good bit of time to get your set list together for these tours. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah, I do. And I always like bring something new to every tour. So the new things for this tour are a completely new version of "You Know I Love You, Don't You," which was on the One to One album. And I just thought I need to give this song a bit of a facelift. So we've done that, and it's going down really well. So it's like sort of familiar, but with a bit more of a contemporary look to it.
So you kind of prioritize some of the fans of the area, like your older songs compared to the newer ones, then, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think I had like nine top 40 hits in America. So there's nine songs that everybody's there and they want to hear them. So yeah, I build a set around that, and introduce some of the newer work that I've just completed, and weave that in because people want to hear, the real diehard fans want to hear something new as well from me. And with the classics, I'm always trying to find a new angle to freshen them up and give them a new set of clothes, if you know what I mean. And Yeah, so I mean, for instance, with No One Is to Blame, I've been joined by this amazing drummer called Doug Yowell, and we've got a completely electronic drum kit on stage, and we're now able to do the single version of No One Is to Blame, like it was recorded, because he plays the loop at the front, and then the kind of Phil Collins drums comes in. He plays that, and so it's the closest I've ever got to what the original record sounded like, and I've never been able to do that before because I haven't had the band to complete that, and so fans are really enjoying that, so it's fun.
That's great. Yeah, because you are playing some, I guess, intimate theaters. Does that get you a little closer to the band when you're playing? It helps maybe the energy and the songs that you play.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy to play anywhere. So, I mean, there's some of the venues we're playing, 4,000, 5,000, and then last night we played the House of Blues in Houston, which was like I think 900 people. So, when you've got people close to you, it's really fun. It's got a vibe, but also when you've got a big kind of arena that you're playing to, then you get the energy of that number of people, which makes it very exciting as well. So I'm just happy to play. I just want to play to people.
Yeah, yeah. One thing that also intrigued me, and you did mention something there just a little while ago about the fashion. How has your stage show fashion evolved from the early beginnings to now? And was there anybody that influenced your experiences to shape those changes over the years?
Well, I've always thought that. I mean, my philosophy about performing is that I'm not working. I mean, I'm not working in a factory, and I'm not. I did work in a factory when to fund all the music when I started out early in my life, but I'm not now. So when I go on stage, it needs to be effort needs to be made. I'm not going to go on stage in jeans and a t-shirt. It's got to be something that is exciting for people to look at visually and wonder, oh, what's he going to wear tonight? What's it going to look like tonight?
Right.
That's just as a really important element in the shows, and it's been like that right from the beginning. When I started out, and we used to create characters on stage and have costumes, and be like half punk, half businessman suits, and all that stuff. It's always been part of the sort of sorry about that. Yeah, it's been part of the DNA, of what I do. Yeah.
We'll get down to the last question or two. What I guess maybe in the last couple of your tour here, last couple of weeks, maybe was one of the highlights so far of your tour, and what maybe tour date you might be looking forward to coming up.
I mean, to be honest, I mean, every show is amazing because I've got pretty much a new band with me on this leg of the tour. So I've got Nick Beggs on bass, and then all the other musicians are brand new to this tour. So it's very exciting to be playing with these new people, and the sound that we're producing is different. It's an evolution of what's gone before, and so I kind of look forward to every show because there's always a new excitement comes along when you work with new musicians, and they bring something new to what you do, and that's what's happening. So every show is like a kind of voyage of discovery about how far we could take this. It's great.
Right. Every show, I mean, there's always some little thing that might
Yeah.
pop up that changes a little bit, even though you rehearse and practice for a lot of times.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right. And we spend as much time as we can in sound check, just evolving the songs, and it's looking at what we did the night before and how we can improve it, and how we can just add some extra bits, and yeah, it's a constant evolution.
Well, is there any one last words that you'd like to give to our fans or any aspiring artists that are coming up that you could give them a word of encouragement?
Well, I mean, artists and musicians, It's a really it's difficult. It's always been difficult to get the attention of the public. But what I always say is that if you want to perform, then perform. Don't just dream about it. Actually do it. So like myself, when I started off in a tiny little pub in Oxford in the UK, and I was a hopeless performer. I just sat in the corner trying not to be noticed. I sat down. I didn't engage with the audience. And it's like, oh, this isn't working. And so that's great. So good. So you learn that the next show you do, you maybe you should stand up. Maybe you should get rid of those spectacles, man. Maybe you should get some lighting in. So actually doing it, and even going around to your friend's house and performing in their front room, that's learning how to perform. And there's two things there. One, are you happy doing with that? And if you are, then you can go on to do other things. And if you can hold an audience in the front room, then you can hold an audience in a bigger venue. So it's just so important to actually, in whatever way you can, do what you're dreaming of doing. And don't worry about what level it is. Just and then build it from there. And that's what I've always done.
Well, I thank you very much for stopping by here and talking with us here at LockedIn Magazine. We look forward to the rest of your tour, and well, we hope you have a great time then.
Right. Well, thank you very much, Rick. All the
Thank
best.
you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Howard.
Cheers.
Have a good time. Take care.
Cheers. Thank you.
Bye.